Welcome to another episode of Watchers on the Couch, Castle Rock. It's your favorite cock-a-doodie podcast.
Christmas, you can't say cock-a-doodie.
Christmas. I am one half of your host. My name is Chris Nays. The other half will now introduce herself to you.
I'm Debbie.
Hello, Debbie.
Hi.
How are you this Thursday morning?
I'm awake.
You're awake? That's good, because if we tried doing a podcast and you were asleep and I just had a microphone in front of you
You'd have venom.
while you were sleeping, yeah, I would just get lots of noises of cats bumping into that same mic. I assume you sleep with your cats, right?
Oh my, I don't have a choice. All three of them are on me every night.
If you were to close your door, would they just scratch at it until you let them in?
Yeah.
Venom would?
Yeah, for sure. And then there would be fighting outside the door because they all would be huddled outside the door.
Yeah.
Mad that they're right next to each other.
Well, people might remember Ash from my apartment I guess it was episode 10 of last season. We have to keep him in a dog cage because he destroys things while we were sleeping. He chews through all of the wires.
He's an adrenaline junkie.
He's kind of a nightmare still. Yeah. But thank you for helping us save him from the streets.
Thank you for giving us our nightmare cat.
I mean, it's not unmanageable, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why we have the cage.
Well, at least he's okay with the cage.
Yeah, I mean, whether he is or not.
He's in there.
He's in there because that's the only way we can manage the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You live and you learn. That's what happens. Yeah. You have to be a responsible pet owner is what I'm trying to get to here. And we don't have any kind of pet supply sponsor or anything like that, but if we did, they would appreciate that message.
Right. I would love Chewy. I get Chewy. That'd be great.
We have definitely bought stuff on there before.
I get my cat litter delivered.
Yeah. I don't know why we're on this pet tangent.
Whatever. People love pets.
But our vet actually recommended that we check out his food on Chewy because sometimes it is like a third of the price.
Yeah, it's prescription, right? Yeah, all you have to do, because Nicola needed that, all you have to do is get a doctor's note.
Well, I think that is in order then.
Yeah, so you go on their website and then you just tell them what vet's office you're a part of, and then they notify the vet, and the vet says, okay, yeah, they need that.
Well, this will conclude our podcast segment to open the show, brought to you by Venom and various other assorted podcasts. Today, we are covering episode 4 and 5, so there may be spoilers for 5 while we're talking about 4, so I think everybody who is listening should just watch both of those. They're both available right now. Then come back and listen to us talk about episodes 4 and 5. Because who knows, when we get to something in 4, we might bring up something that happens later. We should feel free to do so, right?
Right.
Since we know what both of them consist of, it just makes sense.
Right. Which is why we didn't do that for episode 1 and 2.
Right.
Because we didn't want to spoil 1.
Exactly.
With all the 2 information.
So, I guess, I mean, unless you have something you thought of in between watching 3 and 4 that you wanted to add before we get into this episode?
No, but I've been right so far.
You've been right about things?
Yes.
Well, okay, so we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and start episode 4. Restore Hope. Correct?
Yes.
Just want to make sure I'm correct. So Debbie and I kind of decided one of us will cover the majority. It's basically like we did last week. One of us covered the majority of notes for the first episode. The other covered for the second episode. So I will lead us through episode 4, and we'll talk about it as we go. And you will lead episode 5.
Correct.
All right.
And they're both great episodes.
Yeah, just overall thoughts before we go in. Definitely liked both of these episodes we're about to talk about.
Right. There was a lot of I knew it's on my part.
Exactly. Same for me. And I will say there's a whole lot of sad.
Yeah. Very much so.
Way more so than the previous 3 episodes.
Yeah.
We just get like a bunch of sad unloaded on us.
See, I thought when you initially texted me the other day with your reactions of, what was it, holy shit?
Very general reactions. Yeah.
I thought there was going to be another jaw-dropping moment, and instead it was a very slow build-up of lots of moments.
Yeah, pretty much spread throughout. They've done, as we've mentioned, they've done a really good job of storytelling and like leaving hints and stuff here and there. Over the course of the 2 episodes, it was a lot of holy shit moments, and then when we get to the very end of today's discussion, it was the big one. That was the one where I was like, holy shit.
I have to say, their cinematography is really good. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm consistently happy with everything that the show is doing this season. So.
Right.
Let's take a pause really quickly because I need to change out batteries.
Okay.
Okay. After an emergency battery replacement, we are here now. And let us start episode 4, shall we?
Shall we?
We shall. This episode opens up in a flashback, 1993 in Somalia. Nadia and Abdi's mother gets shot down by some soldiers.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a mistaken situation, though. Like, she's carrying a gun that was something that someone gave to Abdi, right?
Right.
And
she was trying to return it.
Right. But she's running towards soldiers with a gun. She's sort of in shadows and stuff, so they don't really realize what is actually happening. Right.
Right. And they don't understand the kids that are saying, Mom, put down the gun.
Right. Abdi and Nadia have been tackled to the ground by these soldiers.
Yeah.
This seems kind of weird for people to do, but it has happened plenty in wartime situations going back as long as people have been warring with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
innocent people get shot.
Yeah. And, I mean, sometimes soldiers shoot their own people because they just don't realize.
Yeah, they react.
Right. Exactly. And you can imagine in war, people are on edge.
Yeah. Well, it's all fast thinking.
Exactly. And not that either of us have, but it doesn't take an expert to think that like that is a very real situation that could happen, right? But they're using this as a device to play up the drama. You know what I mean? And once I saw this scene, I was like, okay, I think Debbie was onto something.
Well, okay, so but because they didn't show who it was, I wrote, so was I wrong?
The soldiers, you mean?
Yeah, they didn't show who specifically. So the whole time I was holding out for that part of the flashback.
I mean, yeah, I think based on our previous conversations and thinking more deeply about what is Pop's motives,
right?
You know,
and what's the one secret that Abdi has,
and that he was in Somalia, which we find out for sure that he was,
right?
In this episode, but yeah, I just feel like they're really just playing up the drama in this opening scene, and it worked really well as an opening scene.
For sure.
And you're left questioning again
right.
about something that happened on the show. So then let's see here. Ace tries to pick up Joy at a bus stop, and it's nighttime, so it's a very sort of
creepy,
weird. Yeah, he's still acting very creepy. She's smart about it and says, no, thank you.
Yeah, she gets out of there. And then like, oh, there's my bus.
Yeah, and she's we find out she's on her way to go back to the hospital to tell Nadia more about Annie.
Yeah. Well, I think she goes to a shelter.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I thought she went to where Nadia was.
No, because Nadia and the other guy that works at the hospital, they left and went to the church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's a shelter.
That's where we see the pastor for the first time, I think.
Right. Then Annie catches the neighbor girl grabbing Joy's stuff from the cabin.
Which her name is Chance.
Chance, okay.
I finally figured out that she was the Chance girl.
I'll let you remember that because I sometimes with names on this show, like in episode 5, there's some names that I didn't end up writing down. Just
I wrote down the names. Yeah,
good
Most
job.
People.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
So, Nadia and Annie are talking. Annie refuses Nadia's help. Annie goes to Nadia's, and Abdi has a gun again.
Right, because Joy is now staying at their house.
Right. Abdi has kind of been nominated the watchover of Joy because they know that Annie's really dangerous.
Right.
We must assume that Joy has told her top to bottom everything that went on there.
Yeah.
And that's why she's like, okay, well, you're not safe there, so I'm going to take you in.
Right. Because she's not ready to go to the cops yet.
Right. Abdi, especially since we see him now with the gun again, he's like the king of overkill, I feel like, because he has a gun all the time,
That's just how he rolls.
Yeah, I think that's very much what his character is, He's like...
Takes the law into his own hands.
Exactly. And maybe a little too far.
Yeah.
Like just waving a gun around when we have a child in the house.
He gets the point across.
That's true. But he could easily handle... It feels like what he knows of Annie, he could probably handle her without a gun just because she's a slightly small in stature female. But we know that Annie is... capable of murdering people bigger than her. You know what I'm saying?
With an ice cream scoop.
Yeah, but Abdi doesn't know that.
That's true.
Unless she has an ice cream scoop, then everybody should just be afraid of her.
No.
Then we see Ace mimicking his own voice while watching home movies of the real Ace. So I started in my notes calling him not Ace.
Yeah, because it's a body snatcher situation.
I mean... This is sort of an issue I'm having. I'm getting impatient with this Ace storyline because we still don't know what they are.
Right.
It's kind of like I know that we're probably going to get that fairly soon, especially after we're approaching second half of the season. Once we end up covering 5 today, we'll be halfway through. So like,
I mean, they kind of told us a little bit about them.
They did. Because later this episode, we see a lot more of them. But, really all they're doing is acting like less human versions of themselves. They're
not as angry. They're very calm.
Yeah. And turns out pretty calculated. And they're manipulating people and situations now for their own benefit. But we don't know what their ultimate goal is.
Yeah, we don't know what they're trying to accomplish.
So that is what I am frustrated with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could probably talk a little bit more about that later, but it doesn't go much beyond that. It's just like, I think I actually wrote this down yesterday. What are the bad characters' motivations? We like I just said, we don't really know. Why am I supposed to be scared of them? Now I know why, because they're capable of murdering people.
Right.
You didn't necessarily know if they. No, I take that back. You did see the people get murdered in the Marston house. You didn't see if Ace actually murders anyone, though. They're sort of being brought back. But now, at the end of episode 5, we know they are definitely murdering people. They're not just like turning them into other creatures.
Yeah,
so.
well, I mean, we saw Ace come up behind the realtor with the chain or whatever.
Oh, that's right. I guess he did. I don't think you saw him choke her to death, though.
No, it was all insinuated.
Yeah. So, anyway, I probably should have put that together. But yeah, they're just playing very simple, creepy smile characters. I'm not 100% sold on whatever their thing is yet. I want to know more, obviously, so the show is doing its job.
I have a feeling that it's whoever these people were that lived there, what was it, 400, 500 years ago, and it's a body snatch, like they're inhabiting them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're trying to take over the town again.
Yeah, I think my main theory is that it has to do with the Hubie Marston sort of creepy paranormal vibe that gets left on the house. Like it has somehow made it possible for the spirits left in the house to
do whatever.
body snatch them.
Yeah.
That's kind of as far as that theory goes, though. There is one thing that I saw in the next episode that connects to something I just read in Misery, though, that I can talk about later. So why am I talking about it now? I don't know. But yes, he's mimicking the voice of the real Ace, and he's clearly not him anymore.
No, and
right?
his brother comes in and is like,
Yeah.
"What is wrong with you?"
Yeah. I have issues with that character too, because like,
Oh, Chris?
he should know something is seriously wrong with him, and not just like in a passing way be like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" Even up to until Chris gets murdered late in the episode,
Right.
he's like, "You're acting really weird. Are you on drugs or something?" I don't know. He says
He's
something
like, "Are you
that.
taking me to an AA meeting?"
Yeah, it's just odd that character would be that stupid.
I mean, he'd been drinking, so maybe we can chalk it up to being drunk at that point.
I suppose, but Chris doesn't come across as completely wasted, though.
No, I
He's
guess.
still able to talk and stuff, so...
Well, I mean, their dad did say one of them was dim-witted, right?
Mhm.
And that they could figure out which one it was.
Yeah.
So maybe he's
I guess that is right.
he's not so smart.
I'm glad I have you to talk to about it, because I miss things like that. You know what I mean? We're able to pick out more than just what one of us would pick up. So
Well, it's because
I like
I'm
that.
reading the dialogue.
Yeah. I actually turn on subtitles as well.
It's the way to go.
I don't do that with every show, but I feel like if we're going to be on point with information, it helps. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, so Chris comes in. What is their conversation really? Well, I can't remember what they talk about, but I think it's more of just a...
Well, his brother says, "How can you live with yourself?"
Mhm.
or something. And Ace, I did write down a quote. He said, "I find I can live with a lot,"
Yeah.
which seemed really ominous as far as
Oh, yeah.
what he's doing.
I kind of didn't write much down about the scene because it really is just like... is keeping Chris involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't just appear at that party. He's in and out of that shop front sort
Right.
of thing that they have going on. Then we get a scene with Nadia and Pop. The chemo is apparently not working on Pop.
Mm-hmm.
Pop would rather not fight it, but Nadia has other ideas about that and is like, I'm going to do whatever possible I can.
Right. So she's trying to get him into a VA test trial or
Right.
something. And as soon as she was talking to that doctor and he said, "I'm going to need the military records," I was like, "Oh, this is where it's all going to go downhill."
Yeah, this is where we're going to get the unraveling of what your theory was about
Yeah.
Pop. And, you know, I didn't think it was that far of a stretch. Once we got that information that she's going to be digging into his official paperwork, it's like, okay, well, she's going to find out.
Yeah.
This is where I wrote and underlined, man, this episode is kind of sad.
For sure.
Like, we're not even halfway through this episode, and it's already like, geez, everything that is going on is sad.
Yeah. It's just all the lies are unraveling for
Right.
everyone.
Annie overhears Ace looking into Abdi, and I put in quotations in French.
I know. I was like, he knows French now?
Yeah, and he's, you know, I guess they are in, they're in Maine, which
Right.
is very close to the border.
Well, see,
And-
if he's a body snatcher, he
Yeah.
would know French now because he's inhabited. And that's why he was having to watch those
Ooh.
home movies, because he needed to learn how Ace acts.
I wonder if the Marstons are French.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I mean, that whole community could have been French, like all those people.
Yeah. And that's where I was going, is like, I believe the French, I should have done more research on this, but I believe Montreal and the French side of Canada are on the eastern side near Maine. So, like, it wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibilities that they
Get
migrated down.
Those French Canadians.
Yeah, exactly. The dog still hates Ace
Well, 'cause
/ not Ace.
He knows. She
Dogs
knows.
know.
Yeah.
In horror, it seems like pets know more than the main characters do sometimes, right? Let's see. We're at the Marston house. The cop and the realtor are like his followers now. They like come out on the porch and they're both very sort of creepy-ish.
Stoic and creepy.
Right. And they follow him back into the Marston house.
Yeah.
From the
They're his
porch.
pod people.
So, Chris is talking to Nadia a little bit, and she says, or he says that he will help convince Pop to do their plan together now, which is to get him help somehow. That's a very short scene.
Yeah.
Pop is with the reverend of the town.
Yeah, he goes to the church.
Right. And, Pop is confiding in him about needing direction on confessing his secrets to Nadia. He doesn't
say that.
He doesn't say that, but
I got
that
a
is,
friend.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to get across to him without revealing too much information about himself or their situation, He's playing his cards close to the vest while at the same time getting advice from the only person he knows to get advice from. And the reverend says, but what's the cost to her or whoever he's talking about?
Yeah. What's it cost her by confessing?
Yeah. So he needs to not just think about what it's going to do for him. Right.
Right.
Which is, of course, the thing he needs to consider, other people, not just himself, and what things he has done or his quote unquote friend has done.
Right. Well, because he feels he's at the end of life, so he thinks he would feel better to get it off his chest. And the reverend's like, well, just because it's going to make you feel better, it doesn't mean it's going to make her feel better.
Right.
And that's true about a lot of things. You got to think about that in your everyday life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just because you need to say it, does that mean it's going to make the other person feel better? Yeah,
sometimes keeping things that could hurt others to yourself, actually almost always, is the better way. Yeah. Even if it might benefit you in the slightest, like you have to put your own ego to the side, your own insecurities or whatever, and just do the right thing.
Yeah.
Put
aside your need to be forgiven.
Right. So Pop goes and burns the letter of confession that he wrote to Nadia about his parentage or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Right. Or
what he did
while he was there, which we find out later, of course.
Yeah, we still have no idea what he actually did and what's in the letter.
Right. But does that mean he won't still confess? That's kind of what I was writing.
I feel like, he's not planning on telling her anymore.
I sort of doubt that they would have this storyline at all and not have Pop redeem himself in some way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe later on, of course, but...
his last dying thing he does.
Yeah, this is certainly not the end of this plot line whatsoever.
No. No, he'll do something in the end to save Nadia.
Right. And then Pop says that he wants his own drunken wake.
Yeah, which, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
have a party and be able to go to it?
A friend of ours passed, and another friend of ours brought alcohol to the wake. I'm not sure if we were all 21 at that point or not, but I definitely thought that was interesting. I'd never seen that at a funeral before.
That's like a thing around here in St. Louis. Yeah.
Well, thankfully, of course, like, you don't want to ever have to go to funerals. You know what I mean? Like, thankfully, I've been to as few as I have. You know what I mean? But in those few that I had before that point, there had never been a drop of alcohol around.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So,
I always saw, like, people drinking beer in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, my family, pretty much across the board, are not really drinkers, or they used to be and aren't anymore. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So, like, that isn't really our jam. Like, when we hang out...
That's not the time you pop a beer?
No. When we, even, like, family get-togethers, nobody's getting plowed. You know what I mean? I actually more like the sober vibe at my get-togethers. I like the more...
no drama?
Yeah, and the family... our family are able to be closer to each other and not be furious with each other anymore, So I very much encourage my family, if you hear this, please no overly drinking at family get-togethers. It's not a problem generally, but I like the vibe that we have going on with the non-drunkenness, That's more my taste, of course. It doesn't always have to be like that, but funerals sometimes can be that way, or wakes, right? Joy's friend brings Joy the lockbox that was at the their residence, right?
Yeah.
Inside, she's able to get in by by guessing that it's Christmas, which is fitting. There's a gun and a disc with, turns out, a story on it of some kind. That's as far as we really know, though.
Yeah.
We just see the title and then
and it's dated. The outside is dated.
Yeah, I can't remember what the date is on it. I didn't write that down, but yeah. So Joy immediately is intrigued by this in
9/17/2004.
2004. So it was several years before where we are, which it's presumed, I guess, that it's present day.
Yeah.
So it's like 15 years before, which is kind of roundabouts how old she is, right? She's like 14, something like that. So
I'd say this puts her at like our age.
Yeah.
Annie, which, mid-30s.
Which, by the stuff we find out in episode 5, everything fits.
Yeah.
Time-wise, right? But we don't know that now.
I have to say, the wake party, I love that Rattling Bog song.
Oh, yeah. I think the music choice pretty much has been on point for this series so far.
Yeah, but anytime I hear that song, I immediately think Authority Zero because they played that almost every time live.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was wondering why it sounded so familiar to me.
Yeah, every time you went and see Authority Zero, they always played that song. I
Right.
love that song. And so the whole time listening to it, I was thinking, oh, man, I wish they would have picked the Authority Zero version.
Well, I can't remember if that was on an Authority Zero album or if that was just a thing they played live. But it's a traditional Irish song, so that is kind of the vibe of that.
I feel like it is on one of the albums.
Yeah. Well, they the band that's at the wake on this show is playing pretty much across the board traditional Irish tunes. So I definitely liked that.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I guess we're moving right into that moment of this episode, but not while the wake is going on, Nadia is looking for Pop's paperwork.
Yeah,
actually, this is a little bit earlier. Nadia is looking for Pop's paperwork from the army to get him in a cancer study for veterans, which we mentioned earlier. Ace's grunts attack her at the shop after hours.
Right.
But she shows that she's very capable.
And she knows where the weapons are hidden.
Yeah, and she could totally handle herself. And she escapes from them very handily so. Like, no problem whatsoever with these idiot guys, right? They're sort of Ace's heavies.
Yeah, his
right?
goons.
Yeah. So, I don't know if she has gun training, but it seems like she does. Because they tease her about it, like, oh, you think you can handle that gun? Like, we know you know where it is, but can you even shoot it? And she's like, fucking try me. Bang! On the ground. So she knows exactly what she's doing. Then we go to Pop's wake. Not Ace promises that he won't fight Abdi while they're there. We get the reveal that the realtor is also here, so something is going on.
She's eating eggs. What is with them and eggs?
I know, yeah. We got the egg moment earlier, too.
Yeah, he was eating just completely raw egg.
Yeah. I guess the plan for weeding out these body snatchers is just to look for quiet weirdos.
I don't know. Well, we see...
the cop is there too.
Yeah, we see a kid come in and he's like stealing beer out of the casket because the casket is where all the beer is at.
Yeah.
And Pop comes up to him and, gives him some trouble and then says, take some more beer. And the kid leaves. And I wondered at that point, like, why did we see that kid? We find out later why we saw that kid.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think that the beer in the casket was a nice touch.
It
was.
It was a nice detail.
I've been to plenty of parties where they didn't have a cooler, so they improvised.
Yeah,
and it was kind of like that, except a little bit more creepy, of course, because it's out of a casket. You know what I mean? But I've seen, I don't know, like, I guess. larger trash cans converted into, like, you just fill it up with ice and then it doesn't matter that it's a trash can. You know what I mean?
Yep. Bathtubs,
sort of like oil cans, like bigger industrial oil cans.
Yeah.
I've seen those full.
A good drum.
Yeah, like a drum, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, Pop brings the party to a screeching halt when he gives his own eulogy. And it's like, okay, this got even more sad.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think was possible, but
because he's almost confessing to what he did.
Yeah. But, sort of like all of the townspeople are there, it seems like, right? Yeah. They're all dancing to these Irish jigs and whatnot. Then we see Nadia uncover the truth about Pops in his papers.
That he was in Somalia.
Right. And it specifically says that. I rewound it and kind of, well, not rewind, but you skip back 15 seconds.
Dating yourself.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, we're taping this,
yeah.
what we're doing right now.
I have a hard time not saying that.
Yeah, of course. It's ingrained in us.
Like, did you tape
at
it?
This point. Right. So then she comes back to the wake and confronts him, right? Yeah. In front of everyone. She calls him a fuck or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember. Is Annie at this wake as well?
No.
I don't think she is.
No.
Because if she was, she would say Christmas.
Yeah.
At this moment, of course.
Yeah, no, she wasn't there.
Ace takes Chris to the church.
Well, first we see the Abdi's friend, the body snatcher dude, who was eating the raw egg the episode before.
Mm-hmm.
We see the kid on the bike, and then he just slams into him with a car.
Oh, that's right.
And
yeah, I forgot to put that in my notes.
That scared the shit out of me. When that happened, I jumped. Yeah. I was not expecting that.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was brutal. I don't know why that got past me, but maybe things were just moving too quickly for me to write down fast enough. But yeah, so obviously now we know that. We saw the cop earlier walk in the front door of the Marston house, but now we know that it isn't just Ace that is capable of murdering.
Yeah, they're all doing it. Because then we see the realtor lure the bartender.
Right.
And the cop kills the councilwoman.
Right.
And then we see...
And at the same time, Chris is being taken to the church by Ace.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Halloween kitty.
The Merrill Bros have a very cool, realistic fight in the church basement.
Yeah, they do.
So Chris isn't all dumb. Like, as soon as he's being attacked, he's like... He reacts very much how he would with his brother before he got all creepy and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, growing up, those two got into it constantly.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
That's the vibe you get from them leading up to this, that, like, it's a very sort of tumultuous relationship. They're constantly fucking batting heads all the time.
Yeah.
Then the fucking Reverend comes out of nowhere. Well, I guess they're at a church, so it's really not out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, because Chris thinks he's killed Ace, and he's, like, bleeding out, and he falls on the floor of the church, and the Reverend comes out, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'll get help.
Yeah, but the Rev ends up murdering Chris.
Yeah.
And... with,
like, a cross thing or something.
Yeah. And he's clearly dead. Like, there's no way that he didn't die from that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of, it's definitely besides maybe the car thing, the cop hitting the kid thing.
No, it wasn't the cop. It was Abdi's friend.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Besides that happening, it might be the most brutal of their kills so far. You know what I mean? Depends on if you think a spiky church ornament of some kind is more brutal than getting hit by a car.
Just smash.
Yeah.
But this is where we find out that 400 years ago in New Jerusalem, there was a group of people. And that's kind of all we find out about them.
Right. Yeah, like I said, like we don't have enough information. I know that, like, we saw those sort of hieroglyphs or whatever they were down in that pit.
Yeah.
And now this weird stuff that is making this group of people murder people and bring them back from the dead. And then we see Ace sort of rise back from the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what you're referring to is the sort of monologue that not Ace, is giving to Chris,
Right.
as they're walking towards there, right? As they're walking towards the church or into the church. He's like, dude, what are you talking about?
It's like, you're obviously on something.
Yeah. I think the reason I didn't write what he was saying down is I thought maybe he was just tricking him somehow. Like, I guess I didn't think it is as significant as it is, but I should pay more attention, I guess, because like he's literally telling him
what really is going on. Yeah.
But he knows that he has murder in his plans for him, so like
it doesn't matter.
Exactly. And he's going to bring him back as a not Chris, so
body snatcher.
Exactly. Then we get Nadia confronting Pop. And that's sort of where we leave this episode of her storming off, right? Yeah. Any post episode between 4 and 5 thoughts? Like, where did you think maybe we're going for episode 5?
Well, I was happy I knew it as far as what happened with Pop and their mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're like, okay, I was right.
I was right. And
which is always a nice feeling.
It is. No, I was just, just like you, more curious as to where this is going. Because we didn't really learn too much about Annie's side of it. It was more the body snatcher side of it.
Right. Did we get any more of Annie seeing the tall man in this one? I don't think we did.
No, we did not.
My only sort of like thing that I didn't mention from last week that I may have mentioned it, but I don't really listen to these. So I thought about it a lot more as I'm reading Salem's Lot this week. And actually, I'm taking it pretty slow, so it's probably going to be maybe for the rest of this run. Maybe not, though. That I'm sort of to lean more towards this Hubie Marston character that lived in the Marston house that built it or whatever. That he has a lot to do with this situation. That maybe he's the center of this whole cultish sort of thing that Ace ends up mentioning at the end of this episode. Like, I feel like he has something very much to do with this, and that is why the house is so tainted, right?
I can see that.
Not just that he was a mobster and murdered and stuff, but that there's other stuff going on.
Witchcraft and voodoo.
Yeah. And, I think that also could possibly have to do, that might be the tying connection between the tall man thing that is going on too. Like, I think he might very well be this sort of ghostish thing that she's seeing, this vision, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's still way open in the air, right? Or up in the air, I should say. We don't know. Yeah. So it's just a theory that I have. But I wanted to make sure I mentioned that before we move on to episode 5. And then, of course, as I sort of talked about a little bit earlier, I'm not super into how they're playing these weird, these weird characters. I really would like more information than I'm getting. Like, I'm being impatient about it, I know, because we're only...
Well, that's how I felt last season 4. About the kid.
Yeah. Well, that was all the way at the end of the season, though. That's why...
It's what they do to us.
I guess I'm more cautious about it this season now. Like, I want more information earlier than we got last season. I was more patient about it last week and like, they'll tell us.
Yeah.
But that wasn't as satisfactory at the end as it could have been. So,
because then the next episode deals nothing with that.
No, yeah, we get the episode 5 is a more self-contained sort of delving into the past. Yes, we do get more stuff between Annie and Joy, but we don't get a whole lot of the Ace situation.
No.
So
almost none at all.
Exactly. And so more impatience.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Would you like to take a break in between 4 and 5? Yeah. Okay. So we will do that and you will not hear that. And I don't know why I don't even know if I left that stuff in where I said that last week.
Oh, yeah?
Like I might have taken it out. So I might take this out too.
All right. The more we talk, the more you have to edit.
Let's go. Let's actually bookend this first segment by saying this podcast is brought to you by Podcats. And if we happen to see, my nose just hit the mic. If we, that's not uncommon either because I have a large nose. This first segment brought to you by Podcats. If we see a podcat or several in between, we will make sure to pet them for everyone listening.
Yes.
Glad you had a lot to add there. Okay, we're going to take a break.
All right, bye.
Episode 5, The Laughing Place.
Yeah, we finally get to figure out what that is.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, you're going to kind of lead this episode.
Yeah.
I did write down a bunch of stuff, but
I did too. I wrote down a couple, 2, 3, 4 pages.
Okay, great. So let's get started.
Okay. So episode 5 takes place. So we learned that the CD says 9/17/2004,
Mm-hmm.
and it's The Ravening Angel, which was written on that box that we first see Annie running through the woods with.
Right.
And we had no idea what that meant.
Yeah.
So now we're in California, 1994.
Correct.
And Annie is a little girl.
Right.
And she doesn't know how to read. And she's in class and everybody's making fun of her.
Yeah, so when she looks at that paper, the letters and everything are like warped and backwards. And I wrote down dyslexic, possibly, because that is how they see that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Or it'll be mixed up most of the time. Like they'll say the last thing in a sentence first and that kind of thing, or the last thing in a word first. Or that's how they read it anyway. And that's what screws them up.
Right. A lot of things in order.
Yeah.
So this is where we learn that they are reading a book called Brad Rabbit.
Right.
And The Laughing Place.
Right.
So we finally figure out where the hell Laughing Place came from.
Right. Besides that it was in the Misery novel. Now we have earlier backstory.
Right. We have it in this one as a backstory. Venom. Laying on my notes. So she's just making up what she thinks the book says, and everybody's laughing at her. So then we cut to the school bus, and one of the kids on there, girl, calls her an A-tard, which I thought was weird. I guess because Annie?
Yeah.
Annie-tard?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
Okay, that makes more sense. So she reacts in a totally normal way and smacks the shit out of the girl with her lunchbox.
Yeah, and it turns out this is like the third time that something crazy has happened.
Yeah. So her parents get called into school, and this is where you find out that her mom says Christmas as a curse word.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so immediately we start to see that Annie
has always been a special child.
Yeah, and she like mimics stuff that is in her mom's lexicon.
Right.
You know, like she's been very sheltered by her mom and dad, and like they have different views on the world, but they sort of feed on each other a little bit.
Yeah. They're similar enough.
Yeah.
That they can agree on like some things as far as parenting.
Yeah, for sure. But just from this meeting that they have with the teacher or the principal, I guess it might be.
Yeah.
Annie's dad seems to have a little bit better of a grip on reality a little bit, and his mom is just her mom is just as strict as you could be, and is very just straight up angry with both, you know, Annie's dad and the person that is challenging
her on her child.
Her child, right. Mm-hmm. So and, you know, I wrote down that I feel like, you know, the backstory feels very true to the Annie character that we have known before this.
Good.
You know,
right.
Like whatever led her to be as crazy out there as she is, and her parents aren't involved in current day situation we have on the show,
Right.
or later on in the Misery story. There's obviously a turbulence of a past,
Yeah.
right?
She's messed up. Something happened.
And in the book, she references her mom and says all of these sort of things that Annie in our current day of this show also does, where it's like, searchers and settlers and good and bad people and no in between.
Yeah.
Everybody is dirty birdies out in the world, and I'm the only one that can watch out for you, Joy, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
they decide to pull her out of school and homeschool her, and they turn their attic into a school.
Right.
Of sorts, which really the school is only Annie typing out the book for her dad.
Yeah, so that,
on a computer.
They sort of taken on the role of homeschooling at this point.
Yeah.
And it's not going well.
No.
We see her
Well, he's not
reading...
a teacher. He has no idea what he's doing.
Sure. I think they have good intentions.
Yeah.
But because they are so messed up in the head, both of them kind of have their issues, the mom and the dad,
for sure,
just in different ways. But I think Annie attaches herself to her family sometimes in a violent way, and has seen anger and violence in home, and that is sort of bleeding over into her school life and stuff now.
Right. So we see that her dad is the one who wrote is it Ravening Angel?
Yeah, Ravening Angel, right.
Right. And at this point, I'm like, oh, the tall man's been her dad.
Maybe, yeah.
No, it's definitely her dad. It's
is
the same dude.
Okay, it got when
he's just not like
when the face is all messed up and stuff. I couldn't really tell.
No,
I had inklings towards it, but I didn't go back and look what
it's definitely
he
her
looked
dad.
like. Okay,
yeah, it's definitely her dad.
Yeah.
So he tells her she needs to type what he wrote on the typewriter onto the computer because everything's digitized nowadays. And he says that she's always going to be his number one fan.
Right, and also the typewriter thing totally fits for her dad when she sees the tall man.
Right, because that's what she heard him doing, that
Bullshit.
clicking sound.
That totally all makes sense now.
Yeah. Well, and later in the episode, we see him wearing that hat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I meant to write that down and ask you about that because I thought most likely it was at this point. It's not Marston. It's not any of that.
It's her dad.
So
then we go present day, and Joy's reading the story on the computer.
And Abdi says he has to leave, so he takes her with him, right?
I don't think that happens yet.
Okay, maybe that's later.
Yeah, that's later. But then we go back to Annie, and now she's a teenager. She's no longer a little girl in grade school. Now several years have gone by. I think they say 10.
Okay, yeah.
And she's still learning how to read.
Yeah, she hasn't progressed
Not very
much,
well.
even though they've been reading the same, stuff, same kind of stuff that her dad is writing.
Yeah, all the characters are the same,
Yeah.
but she's still having a hard time sounding those out and typing.
But they're talking. They end up talking about how there's a GED test coming up
that she's working towards.
Yeah, and the mom is very negative about all of that, and is even you see the dynamic between her and the dad, where she's doing the line work of all of the household stuff and is working, the only one working, and he's just been plodding along in this novel for a decade or whatever.
And she's like a huge neat freak.
Yeah.
Clean freak.
Yeah, I think, throughout this episode, you just see the parallels between Annie and her mom. They're like exact.
Yeah.
And there's plenty more stuff that happens that is like that young Annie does and that older Annie does that is
exactly
what her mom is doing.
Yep.
And has done.
Right.
So
well, I mean, heck.
I mean, heck.
Oh, heck. She's quoting her.
Christmas.
Christmas. So at this point, Mom says, I'm staying home. Dad's going back to work at the bank. Like, you're not progressing quick enough. This should have happened by now.
Right.
So Oh, and I thought it was weird that her mom's like a dental hygienist and she's just like cleaning her teeth and flossing at home.
Yeah, I mean, that totally fits because, like, when you go to the dentist or, or whatever, and the dental assistant is doing that,
Yeah.
it can only be like a very awkward, sort of intense thing they do because they're right up in your grill.
Oh, yeah, they are.
So it's like, I think they did that because that is literally her being as close and intrusive to Annie as she can possibly be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, to the point where she is flossing for her.
Yeah.
Like, that is as close as and intense and intrusive into Annie's life as she can be. You know what I mean?
And they're having an uncomfortable conversation during
Oh,
all
yeah.
of this, too.
The whole time. And she hurts her.
Yeah, she's bleeding.
It's fucked up. I don't like that at all. Yeah,
No.
like, I mean, we talked about how we didn't like the cutting thing.
Nah.
Like, that's cutting your gums.
Yeah.
That is what's that, and that is awful.
Not okay.
It's not okay.
Not okay.
And it's a real close-up shot and everything, too.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Nope. So then we go back to present day, and Joy is still reading. And this is where Abdi comes to her, and he says he needs to go to the site.
Okay,
so
yeah.
he drags her along. And then Joy just comes waddling out of nowhere
Right.
from the night.
Right. Looking very intense,
Yeah.
walking quickly.
Yeah, so she gets in the car with her, and they have like a 5-minute conversation. She says, it was just a bad patch. I'm better now.
Yeah.
Like,
And this goes back to the only good and only bad things can happen, right? So, like, she got through her bad spell. Now she's back in her good side. She's not in between it all. She's only that. It's very binary thinking about life, which is totally a skewed thing. That is not what life is.
no, and she's definitely not over her bad patch.
Yeah, exactly. In this sort of scene, I thought, like, what is she continuing to hide about Joy's dad?
Well, because she asked for her dad's name, and at this point, I was thinking, okay, Joy and Annie are sisters, because I was at first thinking that her dad raped her.
Yeah.
And that's where I thought this was going, because
I didn't pick that up here. I picked it up a little bit further on, but
because she held him to such high regard, and then all of a sudden she didn't anymore, and I'm like, something had to have happened. So at this point, I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe Joy really is her daughter, and she was raped by her father at some point.
Yeah. Well, this is close.
Yeah.
So
at this point, I thought they shared the same dad.
So, of course, we'll get to that, but
Right. But she doesn't say anything, so Joy kicks her out of the car.
yeah, Joy kicks her out. Abdi's like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
Thankfully, he didn't pull a gun on.
I was
her
going to
this
say
time.
there was no gun, I don't think.
He certainly has to have it on him, though.
Oh, of course.
There's no way he doesn't.
No, it's in his back jeans, in his butt, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Where you keep it to be safe.
Right. As long as the safety's on, that is in theory okay.
Yeah. I'd be afraid it'd fall down in your butt.
Or just like fall out of your like.
It comes out your pant leg.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick the mic stand. So we go back to teenage Annie again, and her mom has got her a tutor. Her name is Rita. She's a youngish lady. She seems nice.
Do you recognize this actress from anything?
She seemed familiar, but I couldn't think of where I would know her from.
She really looks like I didn't look up Sarah Gadone is her name. She was the lead actress in the 11/22/63 series they did.
Oh.
I think it was an Amazon thing maybe. But she looks very similar to that other actress, and I should have probably done research and seen if it was her or not.
Yeah.
But no, I liked this actress that was playing Rita, though. I thought she did a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically the teacher is brought in because it is not working out, and the mom brings the teacher
because
in.
the mom knows I'm not a teacher. I need to bring somebody in who knows how to teach.
And the dad is back working again at a bank, so nobody is there to teach her in order to pass this GED thing.
Yeah. So Rita makes her start reading Pinocchio. And Annie doesn't like it because she doesn't like how the story ends.
Right.
That Pinocchio had redemption when he was a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah.
He didn't have a consequence. She
Right.
thought he should have just been dead.
And this goes back to that good or bad
Right.
thing.
There's
it's like
no in
good
between.
people should live, bad people should always die.
Right.
Yeah, and then I think the dad gets introduced to her, and
Right.
they have a conversation about why is she only reading your stuff? That isn't going to work.
Well, and he's mad because she's making her read kid books.
Yeah. And he feels she's on a higher level than that.
Right.
But she's not.
No, and he totally flirts with her at this point.
Exactly, yeah. So that was where my inkling started. Is like, oh, maybe they have a relationship of some kind. It's like more once he gets the compliments from her about the book.
Yeah.
He's all about
All about it.
So that's the thing with his personality too. That is very everything that we see of his relationship with Annie.
He likes praise.
Yeah, and it's all this centered on this book.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that stuff all harkens back to the original Misery novel where Annie is so insane about this story that this author she ends up, capturing
Kidnapping.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
She's so insane about it. And that all goes back to her relationship with her father in that... it's all about this thing he's writing, right? And the good and the bad is like Annie only thinks good, like everybody who's bad
will always be bad.
Will always be bad. The story that Paul Sheldon wrote, where Misery dies off, is in the car with Paul Sheldon when he gets captured by her, right? She reads it and is like, this is all wrong.
Nope, you can't have
You are
this.
rewriting all of it. That's exactly what she's doing with her dad. She's telling him, you should change this, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it all goes back to that.
Right. So then we have like a montage of Annie and Rita becoming like friends and Annie getting better at reading. And all of a sudden we see Rita show up one day and she's pregnant.
Right.
And I was like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
Annie stole that baby.
Right. And Annie is asking her about the pregnancy and stuff, and like, where's the dad?
Yeah.
And
she won't say.
She won't say.
And I'm
She's
like,
being
okay.
very guarded.
Yeah.
More guarded than a person should be that's this close with this kid now.
Yeah.
Because obviously over this montage that we get, like, you see that they're very close now.
Yeah.
So
I no longer think that Annie was raped by her father. I now think she stole this baby of Rita's.
Yeah. And right under this scene is where I wrote prediction. Teacher and dad got... teacher and the dad are together on the side. Dad got her pregnant.
Yep.
And that is why he ends up having to leave.
Yeah.
I feel like from this montage and from the interaction you get early on with Annie and Rita, like, she's a bright and shining moment in her. She's a good person.
Right.
You know,
she
like
sees
for
Rita
Annie.
as a good, and she sees Rita as a good person.
Yeah.
Not
And
a
is the
bad
only
person.
one that has really helped her achieve anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, Annie loves her dad a lot. She has some kind of love for her mom, but it's not really love. It's like just an attachment.
Yeah.
You know, because that's all she knows is the way her mom has loved her. So how would she know that that's not okay?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wait,
It's very manipulative.
It's not okay?
No, it's not. It's a very manipulative relationship all around. Everybody that's involved
Oh,
in this.
man. I was trying to emulate my life
Yeah.
after them.
Again, this episode is super sad.
Yeah.
Like, everything with Annie is super sad. With her mom is super sad. It's fucked up. But
Yeah.
so is that where we go to the next scene? I think.
Yeah, because now we're with her mom, and her mom is concerned about dirty birds, like her father.
Mm-hmm.
And then the father, her dad, might have a publisher, so he just is like, all right, peace out, I'm moving out.
Yeah. The sort of I really liked that they spent a little bit of time in that scene we previously mentioned with the dental work she's doing on her.
Yeah.
Because you see, like, just based upon the mom's face compared to Annie's face. Because Annie is really happy and she's excited, like, that she's getting ready to pass the GED thing and everything. And there's this
sadness.
Yeah, you see the sadness and the happiness directly next to each other.
Yeah.
Because of this Rita character's outside influence. Now, Annie is proud of herself and she's happy. And you see just how disparate between, mom and daughter are. Like, the mom is wrecked, sad. She's drinking. She is practically alone now because the dad is
moved out,
is getting ready to move out, or has already, right? Or their relationship is basically non-functioning
it's
anyway. And then you have the innocent, hopeful, and Annie, who's really happy. You know, so I just liked that they put those together so you could see how different they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he says he will always be her number one fan.
Right.
So,
and that goes back to the novel as well. Like,
right.
I'm your number one fan, Paul. That kind of that crazy warped idea of the number one fan thing.
Yeah.
That goes back to with her mom, her dad, and how it goes so fucking crazy in the rest of this episode with their relationship, because she has it turns out, a super violent attachment to these people.
Yeah.
And is very protective over any of them. And if she feels wronged and that a good becomes a bad, she reacts.
She will right that wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Even accidentally so. You know what I mean? So anyway.
So now we move to present day Annie, and she's gone to the bar, and she sits at the bar and she gets a vodka, just like her mom drank.
Right.
And that's just a little in between thing, because
now
we're
that's
seeing
another
where present day Annie is.
That's another thing where even our present day Annie is living out the same life as her mom,
emulating her.
Yeah,
right.
like the vodka thing happened almost one scene right after the other. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where you see
the mom drinking
in the past, drinking, right? So everything is lining up. You know what I mean? They're literally going past the present, and it's like, Annie is just like her mom. How can we make this more clear to you?
So then we go back to young Annie, and there's a really sad Christmas tree in their house.
Yeah, for sure.
She passed the GED. She's super excited. She got a 4 out of 4. So she calls her dad. Then we see a scene with Annie and her mom, and they're sitting by some water. And they had gone to look at a college, I guess. And her mom wants to know why she's not going further away. But she doesn't want to because that's where her dad went to school.
Right. So again, we still have, even though the dad is not there,
she wants to do everything like her dad.
Exactly. And when she passes the GED, she immediately calls her dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's still very much attached.
Yeah. And it's at this point that we start hearing those weird noises, and the mom looks out into the water, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, she's not going to allow this to happen. She's going to drive in that water. And guess what she did?
Yeah, boom, suicide. Yeah, no, I wasn't sure that she was going to drive out into it.
Oh, I knew for sure.
You knew right away?
Yeah, when they showed that water and she started touching her car at first, I thought, oh, God.
Well, the reason I didn't think it was going to happen is because Annie was still in the car and she's still alive in present day. So, I wouldn't think,
no,
she would turn into one of those crazy, weird, attached moms that kills their kids early on. You know? That's one of the saddest fucking things in the world.
Yeah.
And they brushed up on it on this show.
Yeah. Well, because her mom says she finally sees how she can make it right and get away clean.
Yeah.
The rot is always there. And I'm like, she's going to kill them.
Yeah, she said that rot is always there thing whenever she was doing the dental cleaning earlier.
Yeah. She's killing them. And then she locks the door and drives into the water, and Annie pops out and mom doesn't.
Right. So after this, they do the funeral, and Annie goes into total shutdown mode.
Yes.
Which is, I was not surprised by that.
It was 3 months of shutdown mode.
Right. And that is exactly what Annie in the Misery novel does after she'll basically have a sort of small tiff with Paul Sheldon, and he'll be insanely frightened that he's going to send her over the edge.
Yeah.
And what she'll do is she'll go into these shutdown modes, and sometimes it's sporadic. Sometimes she'll just come in and she'll be like that, or sometimes she will not check on him.
Yeah, for days,
for
right?
long periods of time because he needs his medicine.
Yeah.
That she's giving him all the time. So
Well,
this is the same kind of stuff from back then, or in the future.
Back then in the future.
So Annie's mom dies. Then Annie goes into practically living as a dead person.
Yeah,
you know what I
she's
mean?
Comatose.
She's dead to the world.
So Dad moves back in, and he's setting up for a dinner party of sorts, and the guests are Rita and the baby.
Right. Which initially Annie is happy to see Rita, which I expected. Like, if anybody can pull
her
Annie
out of
her, and I think that's half of what the dad was trying to do, and the other half is to rush into this reveal.
New family, yeah.
I didn't write down much about it, but the dinner with Rita is a crazy thing that happens.
Well, and as soon as we see the baby and Rita pull up, I'm like, all right, he's for sure the baby's father.
Absolutely.
Like, there's no other way about it.
Before they do the reveal, this actually was a moment that pulled at my heartstrings a little bit. Like, Rita has come back. She's this really good character who has very good intentions for Annie. She's reintroduced into the story. She has this baby with her. Like, it's all good stuff that is happening, right? And Annie is coming back out of her black cloud. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for Annie and for all of them. Like, maybe we're turning over a new leaf here. Turns out, not so much.
Nope, it's the dinner party from hell.
Right.
Because Annie says, you're her daddy too.
They reveal that
the
dad is the dad of this baby that Rita had.
Yeah, he said, well, because he's trying to say, oh, they just got together like within the last year. They started talking and reconnecting.
Right.
And she's doing the math in her head, and she's like, I know how old Evangeline is. I know the river was 6 months ago. She's like, and she says, math is not her problem. And that's when she picks up the knife.
Yeah.
And looks like she's going to start stabbing people.
Yeah. I mean,
because she understands what's going on. Her dad was screwing around.
Right. And that makes him a bad person. That makes him a dirty birdie.
It makes Rita a bad person.
Yeah.
Because she thought she was good.
By the way, I forgot to open the episode with What's Up, Dirty Birdies. So I'm just going to do that now. What's up, Dirty Birdies? Okay, we're done.
You feel better about that?
I do. Yeah, I mean, it was a holy shit moment when she picked up the knife. Because I thought, because the baby is the
good
is the crux of this situation.
Yeah.
I thought for sure if she's gonna stab someone, because the show's as crazy as it is.
You thought it was gonna be the baby?
I thought it might be the baby. I thought she might dive at the baby.
Oh no. See, because the whole time I'm thinking she's kidnapped this baby. So I knew the baby was gonna be safe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I like in a quick scene like this, or a quick situation where she picks up a knife right away.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I was thinking. It was.
I
just
thought this was it. I thought this is where
racing.
she kills them.
Yeah.
And then she has to run away.
Yeah. So I didn't really. Once she puts down the knife, I was like, okay, maybe emergency situation is over with, but I know that Annie will not be able to let this go.
No.
How crazy she acts all the time.
Well, this just sends her over the edge.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She goes even crazier.
We thought the total shutdown was bad. Now she is pushed completely over the edge.
Yeah.
She is.
And on top of that, Rita moves in and she's kicked to the attic.
Yeah.
Like the baby takes over her old room.
Right.
So she's pushed out.
Yeah, and in this, like, sort of ramp down of this episode a little bit. We see like her come into the baby's room while the baby is crying and just stand there creepily. Annie starts to get really big like bags under her eyes.
Yeah.
Which, again, just like her mom, she sits on the couch and Rita brings over the baby and is like obviously distrustful of Annie.
The baby just cries every time.
Right. And that has a negative effect on Annie as well.
Yeah.
Like, she's not getting any sort of positive
out
of any of the situations.
And Rita wants Annie on medication,
right.
and she overhears that. And so, yeah, she's becoming very distrustful of everybody.
Right.
And then we finally get after 12 years, his story is done.
Right.
And they have a party, and he's apparently printed out his books for everyone.
Actually, when he is saying that he finished and yelling to Rita, Annie's standing in the backyard.
Yeah.
And overhears this going on. But she's alone. She's separated. I like the separation here, that she's outside of the house, separated from her father. She's still able to hear what's going on, but she is not included in the celebration of, like, she's at that party afterwards, but that little get together in the backyard barbecue kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when he finishes, if Rita was not involved, he would have celebrated with his daughter.
Exactly.
He would not have celebrated with his wife. He would have celebrated with her.
Exactly.
And which makes this dedication moment even more strong, because the dedication before Rita would have been her.
Would have been Annie. Yeah. And this is where we see the dad in that hat.
Yeah.
The tall man hat.
Yeah. So I should have put that together, but I didn't. So I'm glad I have you.
So, yeah. So, yeah, the dedication in the back of the book, after Annie reads it, she sees that it says, "For Rita K. Green, my laughing place." Mm-hmm. And that just flips a switch in her brain.
Yeah, because the laughing place is a shared thing with her and her dad.
Yeah.
When Annie freaks out about it, and the dad, he gets up out of bed. He's like, "This is 4 a.m, Annie. What are you doing?"
And she's like mumbling and going crazy and throwing the
book
book at him.
She's talking about the dedication. She's like,
"Yeah,
laughing place. That was like our thing."
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, you can have more than one."
Right. And that doesn't jive with her view on life, where it's either A or B. It's either dark or light, good or evil, good and bad. Like, there's no in between on anything.
Right. And she now sees Rita as bad, so he's saying his laughing place is her when she's bad to Annie. So yeah. And it's at this point that she pushes him.
Yeah, so quote unquote accidentally pushes him down the stairs. And my God, that was gnarly. Oh, I mean, he gets impaled on the staircase. It is.
I just got smacked in the face.
on Venom is clearly a front runner for cat interruptions this season.
Yeah, so then
he gets impaled on the railing of the staircase.
Yeah, and he had his last dying moments. He's like, "I'm fine, it's okay." And she's trying to pull him off. And this is where having closed captioning is not good.
No,
because it says on the screen to help you understand what you're hearing, I
read this, by the way.
It says flesh crunching, squelching.
Yeah, squelching. I remember squelching. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. It is squelching.
Squelching. I don't like the flesh crunching either. And you know exactly what noise that is, too.
Oh, yeah. It was gnarly. There's no way he's surviving this.
No, he's bleeding out all over.
Oh, yeah. It's a particularly brutal. It's maybe the most.
He's impaled like in his gut.
Yeah. It's an awful way to die.
Awful, 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 awful.
So, and of course, because it's this show, we see everything.
Oh, yeah. And after this point, Annie's just like covered in his blood because she's been trying to pull him off of this.
Yeah, and this is what she looked like in those flashbacks we saw very early on,
right,
where she had
running.
The box.
Yeah, and it's at this point that Rita walks in and sees what has happened. And instantly, Annie picks up scissors and starts chasing her.
Yeah. And so she goes to the bedroom.
She goes to protect the baby.
Right. Which is, of course, what the motherly thing
Right.
would be. Like, that's exactly where they should go.
Yeah.
You know?
And Annie,
not my
no
daughter,
hesitation, bam,
yeah.
right in the gut with the scissors.
Yeah. And that, I mean, I think that actually works because, you know, we see her come back to consciousness at the end of the episode.
Which is weird because before she leaves, she stomps on her head.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see that? Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
I thought she was a goner.
It actually works for me because if the head injury is not bad enough, you know what I mean? Like, if she's not totally bleeding out from her head injury and she's just knocked out by the kick to the head, or the stomp or whatever it was, then the stab wound to the stomach, you don't bleed out quickly.
Yeah, unless you're impaled.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's if you get stabbed or shot in the stomach, it's painful and very dangerous, and you will if you don't get medical attention, you will likely die from it.
Yeah.
Because your insides poison you, you know. But it takes a while. So if she regained consciousness in time, which it seemed like, you know, that she did, there wasn't, I mean, there was a lot of blood, but it wasn't like the dad.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that level. So if she,
and we don't really see her die. She just,
right.
she just bounces after
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And so when we go back to her and she wakes up, that actually works for me. I didn't feel like it was a cheap thing.
No, I didn't either. It was a nice twist I wasn't expecting.
Right. She tries to go to the lake.
Yeah,
right?
she's got the baby in the box.
Yeah, this is a continuation of the flashback thing.
Right, and this is where she starts emulating her mother by saying that she knows how to get it clean.
Yeah, and going to the water alone.
She's gonna kill that baby.
Yeah,
at this point.
Like, this is again mimicking her mom's life.
Yeah,
she's going to potentially murder suicide. You know, herself along with someone else. So it's exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But then the baby laughs and it's like, oh, I guess I won't kill you.
Yeah, so the baby, like, because it's totally innocent and a good thing, it can die.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so she doesn't kill the baby.
She doesn't kill the baby. She doesn't kill herself either.
Nope.
She's instantly brought up to manic instead of total depression, awfulness. So
now we flash back, and Annie is at the bar,
right?
Still, and Joy is looking up online for Rita.
Yeah. This was like another total holy shit moment. Yeah. This reveal was like insane to me. I had, you know, maybe fleeting thoughts that something like this might be going on. But when the reveal comes down and, you know, that Evangeline is Joy.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, it's confirmed.
Yeah. I was like, I knew it.
Yeah. And, you know, earlier on, I was like, I had the same reaction. I was like, oh, I knew it. I was glad to get that confirmation within this episode.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there's so many hanging plot lines. Yeah. You know what I mean? We have the major one with Ace and them.
Yeah.
That's frustrating me. But
it's nice to get some closure with this one and finally figure out what's going on.
And introducing this Rita character to the present day now makes it even crazier. And I mean, I don't know if you have any predictions for what's going to happen with that, but I didn't end up writing anything down. I'm just really interested in wherever this is going. Because, you know, well, tell me this. Does Joy hang up on, you know, I guess it's Eva now or Evangeline now? No,
so what happens is we see that Rita's not dead.
Right.
And then we see Ace sit down at the bar with Annie.
Yeah, so they leave. They don't
keep going
show
back and
how
forth.
far that conversation goes on.
Well, but then we go back to Joy, and that's when she calls Rita.
Right.
So, and she says, "Do you know the book, The Ravening Angel?"
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, who are you?
Yeah, the only person who would know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, is people
Within that
that are
immediate
involved.
family.
Right, exactly. So that should be a cue for her to come to town.
Right. And I thought it was interesting because they show Rita and she's living in like a slummy apartment.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking, you know, she got stabbed and she got her head smashed and she wasn't able to put her life back together after that. Her husband was killed, or not her husband, but her boyfriend was killed. Her daughter was taken.
Oh yeah, no,
Like her
I'm
life
sure,
has just gone down the complete crap hole.
I'm sure whatever her life is now is a shadow of what it could have been.
Right.
You know, and I did notice in the background there are maps up.
Yeah, she's been looking.
She's been looking, so she's looking for her daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And her daughter just fucking called her.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So,
The power of the internet.
very, you know, I did like too that when she was looking through Facebook and just looked up just Rita Green.
Rita Green, clicking
that
on
it was
different
like
ones.
500
Yeah.
of them, you know?
Well, you know, you gotta be realistic.
Oh, yeah, no, that's exactly what it
Yeah.
would be like. It's like, unless you see the photo of the person, you're not going to.
Well, she has no idea what the person looks like.
Right. And, you know, we must assume that because the authorities have also been on the trail of Annie, that she is also, you know what I mean? Like, she is following along with what the police are doing in these different places.
And she's got her own, probably, investigation going.
Oh, yeah, it's all over the walls.
Yeah.
So, very interesting. Like, there's no way she's not coming to wherever they are.
Yeah, so now we finally have closure on one aspect of this, but now...
It opens up a whole new
yeah,
can of worms.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, my only prediction really is that they're going to come to town and there will be confrontations between Annie and Rita. That can't go good.
Nope.
And we should also mention the Ace thing where Ace comes up from behind Annie at the bar while Annie is drunk. Annie is, I guess you could see in her face, she's like out of it now because she's been drinking at that bar. I don't know how much it takes Annie to get wasted. Probably not a lot.
No.
But because she's in a weakened state, I think that Ace is going to have an easier time of
trying to abduct her.
I don't know. I don't see her getting murdered, so I don't know how that's going to play out, but I'm sure we'll find out.
He probably will capture her and
something. I mean, Annie is more capable
than anybody
of handling
thinks.
herself in crisis than almost anybody.
Yeah.
Especially on this show. I mean, the only other character that we've seen do that was in last episode with Nadia. You know, she grabs a gun and shoots it on the ground, and it is like, "Fuck you." She didn't actually say that, but no, I'm really interested to see where this is going. You know, where we left off with Annie with Ace, though, she was freaked by him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So will she be as freaked now that she's drunk and he's behind her? Does she immediately go crazy off the handle?
Does she run away?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, shuffle away.
Yeah, trip over her own feet. I don't know. Something's gonna happen. We're gonna watch it. Then we're gonna talk about it on this show. And we might also talk about some cats again. We got a sneezing cat behind me.
Sleeping cat behind you.
A sleeping one. The other one is assuredly sleeping in the other room somewhere.
I don't know. He was being kind of crazy earlier.
Yeah.
He was running around.
Okay, well, is that all we have for today? I think it is.
Yeah. So we're just doing one episode, right?
Yeah, so now we're going to take it a little more easy on you guys and on ourselves. We're going to cover episode 6 next week. Come in the day after and have it up just a few short days after theirs. So now we'll be on schedule.
Woohoo.
What happens is that they put 3 episodes up initially.
Yeah.
We don't want to cheapen our podcast for you guys. We want to be truthful with you and only cover episodes as we're watching them. So I feel like if we're going to catch up, we should do it in the fashion that we did, right?
Yeah. Well, he was good.
Okay, so leave us a review. Be really nice. Don't talk about burps. Don't talk about things you shouldn't talk about. Talk about the show.
There were no burps.
There were no burps. Actually, I take that back. There have been burps, but they were lighter and they were off mic. They were over here.
Today?
A little bit, yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like 5-star good about it, which is what
you
people
were
should
like
rate us.
ninja burp.
People should rate us 5 stars on iTunes. We still only have 4, which is a dismal amount.
Yeah.
An abysmal amount, I should say. We've been visited by the second cat of the day. Thank you guys for listening. Please, if you like the show, share it and tell your friends and family about it. And warn them that this show is graphic before they start watching it.
But they'll learn some really cool curse words like Christmas and fuckity fuck and fuckle fuck.
Listen, Christmas, not so much the fuckle fuck and the fuckity. Christmas you can use at your upcoming Thanksgiving and Christmas get-togethers.
Yeah.
And people will not know what you're doing.
Christmas.
Yeah. I might use that when I go to Garrett's bachelor party on Saturday. Like, what is happening with you?
You're just like, oh, Christmas. I stubbed my toe. As I look at my finger.
Oh, yeah. Stubbed my toe that's on my finger. That's going to do it for this week. Thank you guys for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.